You're listening to Beyond the Feed, the podcast where we break down exactly how we use cinematic photo and video to build trust, visibility, and authority for real businesses on social media.
We're Parker and Justin from Prime Edge Media. We created the Trust Catalyst content marketing system to help mission-driven brands stop looking invisible and start showing up like the business they actually are.
No theory, no fluff, just real strategy pulled straight from the work that we do in the field every single week.
If you care about how your brand shows up online, you're in the right place.
So without further ado, quiet on set, please. And action. Justin, if we build it, will they come?
Well, yeah, that's what they say.
That's what they say.
That is what they say, yeah.
No, it's a hunk of shit. So that's what we're going to talk about today. The whole fallacy around, like, if we build it, they will come, that just is not the case when it comes to marketing and social media. And that might work for, like, brick and mortar, maybe?
Maybe.
If you have, like, decent signage and a good, like, branding campaign or whatever, but for the most part, that doesn't really happen. So we want to talk about that today. Before we get into that, though, I want to get into our lesson of the week. So if your content in the first, I would probably say 3 posts. Like 3-ish.
I think 3 is a good place to start for most businesses.
Yeah. If you can't reliably see what you do, how you do it better than all of your, competitors, and why the viewer should give a fuck in those first 3 posts, like if you can't tell that, you don't have a social media problem. You have a clear messaging problem. See, what a lot of people like to do is they like to post about all of their appendages of their business. Mm-hmm. So like, well, we do auto repair, but we also do tires, and we also do oil changes, and we also do headlight repairs, and we, everything. Mm-hmm. Like, I get it. I understand the thinking behind it is like you don't want to leave money on the table, and, you want to let people know like what you do. But here's the thing. On social, they don't care. They really don't. Mm-hmm. I promise you, they do not care about what you have going on. And the reason is because they have enough shit going on. Mm-hmm. And if you've ever read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, like the sweetest sound in any language is, a person's own name. Mm-hmm. We love talking about ourselves. We love thinking about ourselves because we are the main character in our own story. Because unfortunately, we're kind of just brains stuck in this fucking meat suit thing. And, we can't really get out of it and see other perspectives. No. So we have to make sure that we are appealing to what people want to hear, which is stuff that will benefit them. Mm-hmm. But if you're constantly posting a bunch of random shit all the time that I can't really like jive with, and I can't really tell like what you do, that doesn't help. Mm-hmm. That's the same reason why, and it hurt a lot to get rid of our one-off services, our marketing and stuff, because we make a lot of money off that. Mm-hmm. But we want to be known as a high-end premier social media marketing agency, and we can't do that if we're offering one-off photos and videography and whatever. By the way, we still do offer it if you're interested or whatever, but we don't market it.
It's not on our website or anything.
Right.
And it's kind of the same thing. Like if you're a mechanic shop and you're showing all the things you do, what would happen if you only show that you do oil changes? I bet you would get a lot more oil changes and probably fill out your calendar if you're only focused on that one avenue of bringing in money.
You know what else that does? It's a lead magnet. Yeah. Because if you can get a service that's applicable to everybody, or if you can put a lead magnet in front of them that's applicable to everybody, or not everyone, but like a broad audience that you want to attract, then they get in there and then they see all of the extra shit that you do. Mm-hmm. And then bam, you don't have to market it all the time.
Yeah.
So that's just one example of that. And I mean, obviously it works different for other businesses and everybody's a, little special snowflake, but like even for, let's say, our business, like we're in the middle of building a social media auditing tool where we're going to go through, like, it'll go through your profile and it'll tell you like what you need to improve, where you need to improve, how you need to do it, that sort of thing. Because we want people that want to fix their social. And then once they get in, they see, oh, wow, these guys like have a whole production team and like they're posting for us all the time, even when we're out of content, and like all of the extra things that you get through working with us in our Trust Catalyst social media marketing system. And we say that because trust is the catalyst to getting people to buy from you on social. But
You don't say. Never heard that one before.
but people don't know, so we have to say the same shit over and over and over
Yeah,
and
we
over in a
do.
million different ways. But if we talked about our one-offs all the time and like, oh yeah, we do mission videos, but we also do speaker reels and we also do testimonials and we also do like training videos and automation videos and explainers and VSLs and everything, you're never going to know what the fuck we do. And you're also not going to know what we're good at.
Yeah,
That's
well,
another underrated part.
you'll never know what we do, but also we'll never find our specific target client when we do that. You know what I mean? And the cool thing about like the social media auditing is it piques interest without people even needing to know who we are or what we do. And it's the same thing. Like if you had a mechanic shop and you had some sort of survey that someone could go to tell what's going wrong in their car, they don't give a damn about who you are or what the business is. They just want to know what's wrong with their car. And then they realize, oh, this guy can fix it. I'll bring it there since he helped me figure out what was wrong with it in the first place.
Man, how cool would like a virtual scan tool be?
That'd be sick.
Like
Yeah.
you could just like Bluetooth to your car. Oh man, that's an idea.
No one take it. That's our idea. Fuck off. It's proprietary. Only can be done through us. Any mechanics out there, come hit us up.
Oh shit. But anyway, so I'm sure you guys get the point by now. But just making sure that like less is more. You know, like that's such a fucking cliche, but less truly is more. You know, and like
That's what we've been doing, man.
like what a lot of large entrepreneurs, like, you know, the Hormozis, and I believe even like Andy Frisella says this, like one avatar, one product, one channel until you get to 1 million.
Yeah.
Like, and that all that means is you have to chunk it down.
Yep.
So, or well, I guess chunk up. So like for us, you know, all of the different components that are included is photography, high-end video, creating social media posts, creating social media captions, writing the ideas, doing the outlines, delivering all of the content. Like if we talked about all of that, no one cares.
No,
And not
'cause they
to
can't
mention
see
that-
the bigger picture.
Because they're like, you know, if they see like, oh yeah, we edit, and it's like, are you a post-production studio then? And like, what do you edit? Do you edit movies? Like, you know, what the fuck do you do?
Yeah.
Whereas what we did is we wrapped it all up into the Trust Catalyst social media marketing system, and we made it stupid simple. It's a social media marketing system. That's it. You know, and we do it with our 3 pillars: consistency, high quality content, and clear messaging.
Yep.
And by the way, that 3rd pillar is what we're talking about right now. Getting into our topic of the episode. So we already talked about how, you know, it's definitely a fallacy of the whole, oh, if we build it, they will come type thing. Justin, why can't I just share my story if I don't have an audience?
I think, I mean, the biggest thing for me initially is going to be that you know your story really well. And just because you want to share it doesn't mean people are going to gravitate to the story.
Right.
You know what I mean? We all have good stories. Every single person has a unique story that is unique to us. But the problem is our story isn't going to solve someone's problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Unless it will.
Unless
You
it
know,
will.
there are
There are
some rare
some
cases.
stories where the story itself literally led to the solution of a bigger problem. But most of the time, it's just the story is, oh, yeah, I love this thing. We're starting our business. Here we are. Come in and say hi. Whereas it should be, this is the problem we solved for you. And now let me tell you how we got to that point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. 100%. Because, I mean, to be real, humans love a good story. I mean, I don't,
our entire history is just a story.
yeah, you know, I don't know that will ever not be a thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
So, like, that's super important. But what's more important is capturing attention so that they consume the story.
Yes. Yeah.
So everybody says like, oh, just share your story and, you know, they'll show up. Well, yeah, that works for some. You know, and we actually noticed that with a lot of our stuff. Like we've got clients who regularly used to do like live videos and all that stuff. In fact, they still do. They're freaking awesome, by the way. You guys know who you are. Shout out. But when we put out their intro package of who we are, what we do, why we do it, and like how we're different, or no, how to work with us and how we're different. When we put that out, they got so much engagement because the guy in the video already was like established
Doing
as
his
the
thing.
character.
Yeah.
He was already the guy
Yeah.
in the business, and this can work if you're like pretty popular in the community as a business owner or like in your chamber of commerce or whatever. Like a lot of the times that's what we kind of push our intro package for those skeptical people is like, let's get some base stuff out of the way. But we end up re-uploading those later because we then have to, once they get on because they realize that our shit's actually legit, then once they get into month 2, we start immediately going into more scroll stopping content. Like it has to hook people in. It has to make you curious and it has to make you want to learn more and get to the payoff. Open that loop so that I want to keep watching. And then it just so happens that there's a pretty good story in there that I want to continue listening to.
Yeah.
Or that you're a really cool person that I want to continue talking to or following or working with or whatever. So that is huge. And, it goes back to the whole, like, putting a dog's pill in cheese, I
think we said peanut butter, but
well, we said peanut butter before, but I don't know. If you try and give a dog Benadryl, it's not going to take it.
yeah.
But if you put it in peanut butter, it will. So you have to treat your audience like dogs.
You really do.
And give them what they feel like they want before you give them what they actually need.
Yeah.
Which is your information. We've talked about open loops and stuff on other episodes. But basically what an open loop is putting you right into the action and giving you something to look forward to by the end of the video. So like if I just like, I don't know, this just came to mind. Like, let's say that I go to like smack you across the face and then right here, it pauses. You're going to sit there and watch for a few seconds and be like, wait, what the fuck? What's going on? Like, what's going to happen? And then eventually you're not going to see it. But that's also why like a lot of hooks nowadays start in the middle of the action. It shows you like the start of the payoff and then it just jumps right into the start.
Yeah.
And then okay, I have something to look forward to here.
Yeah.
Like, even those like as simple as I don't know, like a avalanche falling.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or like a dam burst. You just see the aftermath for the first like 2 seconds and you're like, holy shit. And then it goes back to, it's just a slow drip.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, it's going to happen. And that's why you stay. And what the platforms want is watch time. They don't give a shit whether or not you work with the business. They just care about the watch time. So if you can get more watch time and engagement, then you get more followers. Then your content gets pushed out to more people because the algorithm and you, by coincidence, because of the content that you're producing that tells your story, shows who you are, why you're different, how to work with you, and all the other good stuff that people need to know about you before they buy from you, you're golden.
Yeah.
Like, you get everything that you're looking for.
Not rocket science, really.
No, and I mean, it's a tough concept to understand for business owners who aren't marketing savvy or who aren't social media savvy.
Yeah.
Because even traditional marketing sometimes it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Key takeaways here. I would say probably a key takeaway would be you have to give people a reason to watch. Because if you don't give them a reason to watch, they don't give a fuck about your story.
No.
And also, like, I feel like telling your story is still great. It's still an awesome thing that needs to be done. It needs to be done over and over. Especially if like a story started the business. Like
Joel.
Yeah.
Like he should have been telling his story over and over and over and over again since he started Paperclips.
Yeah.
Really.
Yep. And for context, so we have a client who is also a friend of ours. He runs premium like ice cream trucks, and he started that. It's called Paperclips Ice Cream. He started that because during COVID. Notice how I'm remembering this story? Like, and I've only heard it a couple times.
Yeah.
But it was also very easy to understand because he hooked us in with the name. Why the hell is it called Paperclips? Well, it's because I posted on Facebook that I wanted to trade this paperclip for an ice cream truck, and then he traded things up until he got his first truck.
Yep.
And now he's still trading, by the way. So if you go to his website, I forget what his website is, but if you go to his website, you can see all the things that he currently has to trade. But anyway, like, if you have a unique story that started the business, definitely tell it. But it has to be told in an engaging way.
Yeah.
Just like everybody knows the transitional hooks. Like my favorite one is the lady like karate kicking the water bottle, and it's like, that's the intro. So, when they're doing that, and then, it cuts to someone like catching something or whatever, and then it goes into their thing. Well, the reason that people don't really give a shit about that anymore is because it's not creative and there's no payoff.
Yeah.
Like there's no curiosity there. It's just like, caught the bottle. Hi, I'm a realtor and I do all this shit. And it's like, that's not an open loop.
Yeah.
Because I don't really care.
Yeah.
Whereas it has to be something that is a payoff. So the best example, in fact, I got to find their name because there's this really solid company on Instagram who just murders at this. This brand is called Wants and Needs. I think it's just Wants and Needs, but their account is Wants and Needs Brands _. So these guys, they sell clothes, and every single one of their videos starts off like a fucking TikTok story. I feel like I've shown you one of those.
You might have. I mean, we get so many videos in our content inspo.
Yeah, where so they'll start off with something like totally irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like they could even started with that reference that I said in a previous episode with the guess the price, I'll buy it for you.
Yep.
And then he miraculously guesses the price on everything that happens and gets more and more excited, and you want to see the end of that.
Yeah.
But then they do a transitional hook from that story to their clotse.
Yeah.
So it's not, and it's not just a jump. Like it's seamless.
Yeah.
It's something like, let's say like there was one of somebody like falling down, sliding across the floor, and then it cut to a frame of the same size and their clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Sliding.
Yeah. Nice.
So I thought that was really cool. But they do that all the time. And that's the only reason that I follow that brand.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about their clothes.
Yeah.
But now I've been like noticing myself looking at them more. I'm like,
you're like, that is kind of a nice shirt.
yeah, like that looks kind of comfortable. Damn. And I would have never known if I wouldn't have watched that content.
Yeah.
But I also would have forgotten about them if they didn't constantly upload content like that.
Yeah. Again, consistency.
So if you have an established brand, I mean, we've had mission videos get 40,000 views in the first 24 hours with timeless brands.
Yeah.
So if you've been a part of the community for 30 years, then you can tell your story.
Easy.
And that's easy.
Yeah.
But if you're an up and coming brand where not a whole lot of people know who you are, you have to stop the scroll first.
Yep. Have to stop the scroll. You have to get eyes onto your page, onto your content, and then you bring in the bigger story and people will be like, oh, wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Key takeaways here. I mean, it's just going to be you have to figure out what is going to make your audience curious. And it can be something so simple. It could literally be I saw this one the other day. It was a dude with hairy ass legs walking in high heels, walking away from the camera. So you only see the shoes. But then as he's walking, you see the legs and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And it had nothing to do with the video, but it was a seamless transition. I watched the whole thing 10 times. It was genius.
Nice to know where your attention lies.
Yeah. And in fact, that was a marketing company.
Nice. Nice.
So, yeah, guys, make sure that you understand what makes people really want to continue watching your stuff. And this also goes for written content too. I mean, obviously it's really easy to do in video, but if you have a open loop in the first line where you're like, this lesson cost me $5 million. I wouldn't have started my company if it weren't for this.
Yeah.
Or even better, I almost shut down my company because of this mistake. Something like that.
Yeah.
And obviously make sure it's truthful, please.
Yeah, don't just go lying.
Yeah, don't just spout a bunch of bullshit because that's going to do the opposite and then you're going to look like everybody else. Don't do that. Instead, stay authentic to yourself, but also make sure that people, you're producing content that people actually want to see. So, Justin, with that, this has been another episode of Beyond the Feed. I believe it's episode number 7. Although I can't remember for sure because we've done.
I can't count.
We've done 15 retakes here. So, but yeah. So if you guys want to see more of this,
whatever this is,
this
High quality
fuckery.
content.
If you guys want to see more of this high quality fuckery, you can check us out on a couple different places. One on YouTube, two on Spotify if you want to listen to us. I know a lot of people like to listen to more of like the shorter technical stuff in the car. So we have it on Spotify. And then we are also in a inner circle on Facebook. It's a free private group that you can join with the link below if you're not already there. And you can get a bunch of extra perks. Like, so Friday night at 6 p.m., everybody in the inner circle gets whatever episode of the week it is. But everyone else has to wait until Monday at 9 a.m. So you get a 3-day head start on whatever information is in the podcast that you can go use that other people don't get. And you also get live Q&As, and you get to interact with us and get a bunch of behind the scenes content all the time. And again, it's free. So if you want to join that and you haven't already, join with the link below. If you want to listen to us on Spotify, you can listen to that with the link below. Or if you're on YouTube or want to be on YouTube, you can go to Parker Cupper on YouTube and see all of our
Pretty faces.
wonderful podcasts. But until next time, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns that you want answered on it, that wasn't the word I was going to say. If you want your questions answered on an episode, you have to be in the group. But if you guys do have any questions, we will write them back to you in the comments below. And until next time, we will see you in the next one.